Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Janet Gollery McKithen, and I'm lucky enough to be the pastor of this church in Ocean Park, and I'm honored to be here celebrating the life of my friend, Carol O'Neill. Looking around, you might wonder if you're welcome in this place that so embraced Carol, and that Carol embraced. The church in Ocean Park is home to a multi-faith and no-faith community, working together to create more equity and to bring more love into the world. So you're welcome if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Wiccan, if you're Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Ifa, atheist, or something else altogether. You're welcome no matter your ability, your legal status, your economic status, gay, straight, transgender, married, divorced, widowed, single. If you're grieving, if you're not sure what you're feeling, we hope you find this to be a community of healing and of love. We are here to celebrate Carol O'Neill. We are here to grieve together and to hold one another in love because we miss her. And we're here to celebrate and laugh because Carol enjoyed life. So we are here to mourn, and we are here to celebrate, and we hold it all together in this community this afternoon. Thank you for being here. Your presence means a lot. We are thankful for the gift of Carol's life. We live amidst the beauty and wonder of all life and marvel at what it means to be fully human, fully alive. And today we particularly give thanks for the wonder and beauty and the true gift of Carol O'Neill. We are so grateful to have been a part of her life and to have known her. Welcome to the celebration of Carol O'Neill. Now our first remembrance is going to be by her daughter, Kate O'Neill.
Thank you to everyone here in person and to our friends joining us on Zoom to celebrate the life of Carol O'Neill. My sister Jules would be standing alongside me today, but she died before our mother in 2022. I'm speaking today on behalf of myself and my sister. There's a lot to celebrate about Carol O'Neill, right? Yeah. Our mom was known and admired for her directness and unfiltered commentary. Since learning about her passing, some of Carol's friends have shared with me some comments like, Carol never hesitated to say what she felt, or you could always count on Carol to speak her mind, or Carol would just say what she was thinking without worrying about what other people would say. I think everyone who knew her would agree our mom insisted on speaking her mind. Carol described herself as shy growing up in Chicago, but she blossomed into an inquisitive and highly expressive person. Early in her adult life, Carol studied philosophy, religion and spirituality, poetry, music, and art. Jules and I didn't think much about it as kids, but our mother went to painting classes, took yoga, had guitar lessons, went to classes at the local college. She worked very hard her whole life, not only in her professional career as a speech therapist, but also in her personal study across an array of interests. Throughout her life, Carol continued to pursue her creative studies and turned out massive amounts of artwork and writing, attending art classes and writing workshops. Some of her many works of art and poetry are on their website that is on your program, and I hope you'll visit to enjoy her work. Jules and I had childhoods filled with visits to Chicago's galleries, art museums, ethnic restaurants, theaters, dance companies, and music festivals. And these experiences impacted the rest of our lives. I got to know my mom better than ever during her final 2 years, and she really impressed me. We spent a lot of time together because Carol needed support to maintain her quality of life. I saw her fight through the pain and disability of shingles, weaning herself off of pain meds and diligently pushing through physical therapy to get back on her feet, literally. She had a regular program of exercises and went to fitness classes and walks in the neighborhood. Her drive and determination amazed and inspired me and the caregivers who helped her. Carol was fiercely independent, and even using a walker, she enjoyed going out alone to buy chocolate bars and cute socks. Carol was one of a kind, and she'll be missed by many people. Everyone who knew Carol was inspired by her. Jules and I were lucky to have such a vibrant and active mother. She amused and influenced those who knew her, and her spirit lives on through her impact on us. Now we'll have an opportunity to enjoy Carol's voice again through the words of her poetry. I'm going to begin things by reading one poem, and then I'll be bringing up some friends and family to read a few other selections. This first poem that I'll read is called "The Day I Stopped Making My Bed." The day I stopped making my bed, you might not know, but I will. As I stumble and tumble slowly down this hill, grasping at dried weeds, long dead roots of trees, looking up now and then to see where I've been, then down, needing to know how far I must go. Arriving before spring rains, settling in before the first snow. The day I stop making my bed, I'll have no further place to go. So now I would like to invite our readers to come up to the stage in the order in which they will read. So first, Gail Myers here, then Jean Gasca, Saul Eisler, Diane Woods, Alex Saul, and Soleil O'Neill. Please come up, and when you're finished reading, you can go ahead and take your seat again.
Hello, it's an honor to be here. I hope I don't break into tears over this. Okay. What to do while waiting to know what to do. Last night I noted that the stars were in the sky, as well as a rather large moon. This morning, the sun arose on time. So far, so good, I thought. The message seems to be, do not run or hide. See as much as you can see, hear as much as you can hear. Don't forget who you really are, what you really know for sure. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jean. Carol was a regular member of our poetry reading workshop, and she brought poetry almost every week and read it to us, and very often it was humorous or sometimes silly and frivolous. So what I want to say about this poem before I read it is you need to know that it relates to her profession. She was a speech therapist. And this poem is about how your lips, tongue, and teeth make sounds, and she used it as a metaphor for our lives. So listen. Oh, I want to say one more thing, I'm sorry, because I read this to our poetry workshop, and everybody had to hear it twice because we forgot about this one detail. There are certain sounds that are very fast, like and there are other sounds that take more time, like b, sh, and that's in the poem as well. This is it. This is all there is. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. What's important is just this. This moment is what's important. Not all moments are all alike. Some moments are longer than others. If one would want to preserve the moment, avoid T, P, K, and ch at all costs, and concentrate on s, z, sh, th, n, f, v, and j, and most especially m. There are moderate moments provided by a, e, I, o, and u, and sometimes y. L and R belong to this group as well. Not as good as s, but certainly better than t, and ch, b, and d. I'm telling you, this is it. We are of this time.
In line. Time to begin again, strewing words about the place, to be caught by some digested hardly ever, barely remembered by their author. Their birthing comes easily now, like wheels in line beneath my feet, gliding silver smooth above the pavement on which I write.
A family tree. Read it that way. Moms, dads, uncles, aunts, kids, cousins, grannies, gramps, and so on and so forth. It works. Or, on the other hand, a tree filled with family. Think Swiss Family Robinson. Think shiny black crows high in a palm. Lucky am I to have watched the latter for the second time in 3 years, watching them almost daily from the room where I write. There's a group of tall, thin palms. Both years, the very tallest of them all was chosen to be home for this busy, extended family. 1 egg to hatch, perhaps 2. I couldn't see inside the fronds, but it was easy to tell something special was happening. Back and forth, turn taking to sit, then turn taking to feed. Last year's hatchling often stays to help mom and dad with this year's chick. Few other creatures have a family that tight. Let's hear it for the crow, who keeps our streets clean, who treasures family living nearby, and mourns the ones who leave this world.
Things to do. What seemingly useless things I did today. Everyday, ordinary things I did today. Shopping for a gift, washing a floor, travel reading, appointment keeping. Kitchen things, garden things, cleaning up messes, creating a mess. These are the things that make up a life. Like it or not, they make up a life. Ordinary, everyday things become the fullness of a life.
Not just another pretty face. They flutter, they rest, they eat, they fly, they mate, lay eggs, migrate, and eventually they die. Before that, fulfillment, we'd like to think, gathering the goods from each flower they sip, taking and giving all at once. Bless the colors, the patterns they show us unpaid. Don't we wish we were the same, admired by all, playing no game? Perhaps we are, more like those floating on high, taking and giving as we walk by. Let's be, you and me, more than we thought we ever could be.
This song we're going to do for you now was written by Tom Paxton, very famous folk singer of our time. And I understand Carol liked this song, so that's why we're doing it. It's called I Can't Help But Wonder Where I'm Bound.
dusty road, a hot and heavy load. The folks I meet aren't always kind. Some are bad and some are good. Some have done the best they could. Some have helped ease my troubled mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
Choir, get closer to the mic so that people can hear your lovely voices.
I've been wandering through this land, doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see look as worried as can be. It looks like they're wondering too.
And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. And I had a buddy way back home, but he started out to roam. And I hear he's out by Frisco Bay. And sometimes when I've had a few, his old voice comes ringing through. And I'm going to see him some old day. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
Well, if you see passing by and you sit and wonder why, and you wish that you were a rambler too, nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, cause I've opened the door. Thank your stars for the roof that's over you.
And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
Beautiful. Thank you, Church in Ocean Park Choir, Carol's choir.
Yes, Carol was in our choir.
Yes. So we have a moment now. If you've been wondering if you could speak, this is your opportunity. If you have something you'd like to share about Carol, it would be wonderful to hear some different perspectives. And it would, if you come up here and share, please tell what your relationship is, like if you're a family member or a friend or whatever it is. Is there somebody who'd like to come up? Come on up. Use one of the ordinator of the mics.
I got to know Carol once a month on Zoom once COVID hit, and we started the first Tuesday of every month a poetry group reading their poems or poems we loved. And Carol would share her poems and poets like E. Cummings and Elizabeth Bishop and others off her bookshelf. We really got to know her very well, and it was really touching. Even in the last year or so, when she moved, she could look out the window and write a poem about something she saw out the window, and it was very touching. And as for her directness, I was writing some dark, emotional poems one time, and even though I was not in that spot anymore, or never was, after she heard the poem, she said, "You need a therapist."
All right. Is there somebody else? Come on up.
As you can see, I'm a lot shorter than Carol, and that will play out. My name is Saul Eisler. I was a very dear friend of Carol's. I met her when she came to our writing group. And she was new to us. And after about a month, I found her so interesting that I asked her to go out for some coffee with me. And she looked at me and said, "I don't like coffee." I talked her into hot chocolate, and we became dear friends thereafter. We were disparate in who we were in some ways, only on the outside. Carol was about 4 inches taller than me. She was about 5 years older than me. And that's why she didn't much care for it when I called her a cougar. But we got along so great that for about 2 years, she and I would meet every Thursday at 1 o'clock, usually at Clover Park, elsewhere as well. And then later when she was in a rest home and a home. And we would exchange her poetry for my short stories. She liked me to read those short stories to her. And we'd spend 2 hours just talking about the events of the day. And it was a highlight of the week for me, always. We were very dear friends, and I will miss that dear lady. Thank you.
Well, besides Carol being in the choir, and she was a great member of the choir, I also heard her on the poetry group, and she was a lot of fun. One of the things that I really value is that she turned me on to the fact that opera, they were, putting it on the screen from New York, the New York Metropolitan Opera. And she told me about it, and I started going, and it was really fun to see her there, and we enjoyed opera together at the AMC Theater in Santa Monica, and really appreciated that. Thank you.
So I'm Jean. I coordinate the Tuesday at 2 Zoom meetings for the church. We started those in the pandemic. They were started by Janet, and then because she's so busy, she was farming it out, and I said, I'll do it. And we have 4 kind of standard meetings during the month: poetry reading, writing workshop, there's a sing-along, but of course on Zoom you can't all sing together, so you sing at home by yourself while the person's singing. But we make a good go of it, and we have a wonderful time. And then there's a 4th one. Larry picks a singer-songwriter and sings for an entire hour and gives us all sorts of narratives about the singer and their life and why they wrote what they wrote, and their wives and their girlfriends and their troubles and so on. Carol, whenever I sent an email every week inviting to Tuesday at 2, always wrote me back within 24 hours. She's the only person who did that. She wrote me back every single week, and she would have some little funny quip about the description that I had written about whatever we were going to do, some humorous thing. Sometimes it was a pun. And so we would go back and forth on email a few days before the meeting. And I always looked forward. It's like I would sit down on my computer and think, I wonder if Carol has emailed me yet, you know? So that was a really high point of my week. Every week, she came almost without fail. So Fred has already told you about poetry workshop. In writing workshop, of course she loves writing, and this gentleman has just told us about their writing together. We have a writing prompt at the beginning. Describe your childhood bedroom, or a dream that you've had, or whatever. But at the end, we always play a writing game. And the writing game is that everybody in the workshop suggests 1 or 2 words. We put them up on the screen, and then you have to write. You have 8 minutes to write a story using all those words. And Carol had such an imagination. She had animals that talked and all sorts of wonderful things in her stories. And we enjoyed those games. We still do, and we miss her immensely. Another thing I will say is that when she was in choir, she would always have a smile on her face when we were singing. That's not true of every single person who sings. And she never had a frown on her face. She loved singing. So I miss her terribly. And she was just a sight to behold and hear, and blessings.
I'll try to say what I feel. I feel a sense of loss. I got to know Carol through the Tuesday at 2 groups, mainly the writing group, but at times we had other creative tasks. And typical of myself, I would tend to put myself down and say, I can't, I don't know how, I'm not creative. Da, 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 da. And oftentimes Carol would counter with, Bonnie, your outfits are colorful. You can do this. It meant a lot, still means a lot. And another thing about Carol that I experienced, she was appreciative. The attempts to get hold of her when she was in different living facilities, or at home, and then the different living places. And then when I was able to get through, she knew it took some doing to get through, but it happened. And we had some nice conversations, and she was always thanking profusely. Thank you, Carol. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, enjoy.
If you are on Zoom, you'll have a moment also. So after we finish here with the folks in the room, I'm just letting the people on Zoom know that you also can be heard. Come on up, but it's your turn.
Carol and I lived in the same building. There were 4 of us that were very good friends. And it was interesting to me that people saw her so, what's the word? I don't know. But I like direct. I like to use that word. Maybe it's because we both were that way. And I appreciated that. Never felt insulted or anything. But as a matter of fact, she never bragged about what she did. We had to pull it out of her, and I really admired her because she had a very bad sleep disruption problem. And I didn't know how she did everything she did when she was up nights. And other things. She and I traveled together to Alaska. We had a great time. She was very friendly with everybody. We just had a great time. But I've been out of there almost 7 years. And we were much less in touch. So this problem of missing her was gradual because we saw less of each other. The other people were sick, one died, but we still kept in touch, and then I couldn't reach her at all. And I was so happy to have Kate's information. And then I did talk to her a few times. And I wanted to visit her, but she said she didn't feel up to it. She was going through the, what do you call that? The disease she had. Yeah. So she shingles. So she said, I want to wait till I get over this, I don't want, and I wasn't driving, so I would have to have somebody take me, but I was really anxious to see her and was sorry that I didn't, before she was gone. But on the other side, I just remember celebrating with her. We always did our birthdays. We always, every week or so we went out to dinner together. So it was a lovely relationship, and I admired her a lot.
Maybe I'm the person who knew her least. I came all the way, I'm Joseph, and I work as a hospital chaplain, first at UCLA, and now I'm at Kaiser Permanente, Sunset Boulevard. So I visited her a couple times, and usually when if you are a therapist or a psychotherapist or a counselor, you would listen to the person who came for the treatment, and you would listen to them, and they would talk, and share. But when I visited with her, she made me talk. So I talked about myself and about Trinidad and about Carnival and little other things, and I think sometimes it's called maybe abnormal therapy. I don't know what it's called. But she found reassourcement and peace and comfort from just listening to some of my experiences and my trials too, because sometimes people feel that if you're a chaplain or a pastor, you don't have any problem, as the usual person. So I think that encouraged her and helped her. And at the end of the visit, she said, well, you're a very good listener. So I really missed her. I couldn't make it to the Tuesdays at 2 because a lot of the time I'm listening to a patient somewhere in the units. But thank you very much for her confidence and for her courage that she shared with us.
She did the same thing with me, by the way. So online we have somebody, Abby, would like to share.
Yeah, I'm Abby Vincent, and I knew Carol because we're both members of this. Okay, am I on?
Okay, Abby, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Abby Vincent, member of the Church at Ocean Park. That's how I knew Carol. We were both members of the choir. I formerly am a member because it's just not practical for me to do that anymore. But the last time I saw Carol was at the holiday concert. Gene Gaskin's group came, and she came up, made a point of finding me, and we chatted about that. That was the last time I saw her, and I was, really felt that I was grateful for that time. During the time she was sick, I used a screen reader to read emails, and it mispronounced her name, so I thought it was somebody else. So there was that time when I didn't get to see her. In choir, we used to have conversations where, we would each sing a line from one of the songs that we sang in choir. That was kind of fun. I partially sighted and use a wheelchair. There was some discussion about how such a person would be in a singing group, especially one that performed, and she was always really helpful about that. And I guess in the poetry group, I never really did have confidence in my ability to understand poetry, but I took part in the group for a while, mainly because it was COVID and there was not a lot else to do. And I wanted to read Jabberwock, and I said, "Oh, I'll read this because it's mostly nonsense." And Carol said, "Oh, why don't you find some nonsense poems and you could read us that?" And I look, it's a whole genre. There's tons of nonsense poems. So because of Carol, I really learned to like poetry a lot, at least nonsense poetry. And she's just the kind of person you'd want to have in a group, because she was just always aware of what I and what other people needed and was there to help.
Thank you, Abby.
Hi. So I was fortunate. I got to know Carol at the Learning Garden. I guess it was pretty close to when she moved here. I don't really even remember when she showed up. Just one day she was there and we found each other and we just connected. And she was great. She would, we were there to, do gardening and everything, and she says to me, "Well, do you draw? Why don't we bring our drawing stuff?" So we would bring our drawing stuff. She was good at instigating that sort of stuff. And I guess one of the most fortunate things for me was one day we were two of the last people at the garden. We were leaving, and this one Chinese medicine student was harvesting these herbs, and she says, "Oh, you know what, I harvested too many. Do you guys want some?" And we were like, "What do we do with these?" She says, "Oh, you boil them in water, and then you put them in your bath and you soak." And so Carol and I were like, "Okay, sure." So we took them home, and we exchanged email addresses so that we could compare. And the first email I ever got from Carol was, "Soon to be published in the New England Journal of Medicine." And then she said, "Much ado about nothing." And it was fortunate because that gave me the ability to communicate with her when we weren't around. And we've been pen pals, visiting each other occasionally, but keeping in touch for the last 20 almost years. And when she moved into, the Watermark, we finally decided, we should really get together again. We haven't seen each other in I don't know how many years. And I was really nervous, am I gonna recognize her? Because I haven't seen her in a while. Is she gonna recognize me? I got off the elevator, it was no time had passed. We went and had a wonderful time, and that was the last time I saw her in person, and I am immensely grateful that I got to do that. So I'm really grateful that I got to know her.
I see somebody else online.
My name is David, and one of the very first things that I realized that was such a immense gift seemed very simple to most, but came a time when we were visiting, and I experienced a different kind of gift. I made the mistake of calling her my mother-in-law. She quickly told me in a very special way that she said, "You are my son. You are not my son-in-law, and I don't want to be called son-in-law. You are my son. It stayed with me for all this time that I got to be Carol's son. She leaves a big hole in our hearts because she's not here physically. But I have so many reasons to call her son. She would also let me know if I waited too long to call her. She would open and then took the time to do so. She would be very quick to say, well, you're here, or well, you're too busy to visit with me, or then we would get on with our long our long conversations, and they were like another that I had experienced before. Miss her very much.
We have a lot of memories in our hearts, and some of those that you shared I resonated with as well. I too appreciate someone who is direct. I like that word, direct. Sometimes she said, Janet, I need to talk to you. And I never knew what was coming, but I knew it would be honest. I like people who are honest. Today we remember with gratitude the life of Carol O'Neill. Carol's spirit will live on in each of us who knew her. You may remember Carol for what she did, for her poems, for her directness, for her artwork, for her humor, for her singing, for her dedication, for her support. But you will also remember the unique, amazing person that she was and what she brought to the world. She will be remembered in our lives for generations to come. You can honor Carol in your life by living your life with gusto, being your unique self and not trying to be anyone else, by exploring new ways to express yourself, new ways of art perhaps. You can honor Carol by bringing art into the world, by singing, by writing, by reading poetry. You can honor Carol by helping to make the world a better place, by supporting one person at a time and saying, you can do it, and meaning it. So we release Carol, and we commend her spirit to those who would choose to be keepers of her memory. Goodbye, Carol. You are no longer here physically, but you will always be a part of who we are. You're invited to pause in reflection or prayer for a moment, either with your eyes closed or open, whichever you're comfortable with. Creator of all, we know that love never ends. When all else fails, there is still love. We lift up one another in our need for all anywhere who mourn with us this day. To those who doubt, send light. To those who are weak, strength. And for all of our mistakes, mercy. To all who sorrow, send peace. And keep true in us the love with which we hold one another this day and in the days to come. Amen. And now may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft on your fields. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of God's hand. Our benediction will be by the Church and Ocean Park choirs.
Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. For there may be trying to get home. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. For there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Now it may be James, or it may be John, or it may be Moses leading the children home. Or there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. For there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Now it may be me, or it may be you, or it may be your sister or your brother too. Or there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. For there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. For there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Oh, you're all part of the choir now.
Yeah, so now we're going to try to get into a circle if you can. And take hands. This is how we end our gatherings at the church in Ocean Park. Anybody who's nearby, you could hold their hand. Doesn't have to be an actual circle. This is the church in Ocean Park. Nothing has to be exactly how it's supposed to be. All right, and we say together, we raise our hands. What is it one thing that we're going to try hard to do till next time we see each other? Carry on. So we're going to raise our hands, those who are able, and say together, carry on. We're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Carry on! All right. Love you, Carol. And the music that will play are the songs that Carol loved. And you're welcome to have food back in the back, and there's also artwork to look at. There are 2 restrooms, one up and one down.